Hey everyone, this is Michael. I'm in the pod 5x5 trying to stay alive, and if you're listening to this, you're probably trying to stay alive too. Now, if you didn't get that reference, it's from Alien. Straight off the bat, I hate scary movies. So a movie like Aliens, I would have never watched in my life. So how did I get that reference? I actually got it from this guy off YouTube named Da Vinci J15. He uses that pod 5x5 thing to introduce himself in his podcast. And the interesting thing about Da Vinci J15 is that he actually was able to buy Bitcoin when it was below $1. And he actually made YouTube videos when advising people to buy Bitcoin when it was just $1. So if you could have imagined yourself back in 2008 on YouTube, you're probably watching some PewDiePie video or something like that, while some guy on YouTube whose video you happen to ignore due to the algorithm, that video didn't show up in your recommended list because the algorithm. That video, if you had watched it, it could have made you rich. But anyways, welcome to the debut recording of round one. We're going to be sticking with WWE, AEW sports-related entertainment with the first few podcasts going out. Today I'm going to talk about AEW Collision. But before I start with that, I want to send my condolences out to superstar Billy Graham, who happened to pass away, who had a multitude of health complications. He passed away yesterday. And to say that I'm 38 years old, I was born in 1985, to say that I'm not aware of superstar Billy Graham would be ridiculous. You know, even growing up, even being born in the middle to late 80s, I was aware of Billy Graham through WWE. At that time, WWF, they had a multitude of historical shows that aired in Canada, especially around the time of after when WWE Superstars or WWF Superstars aired. So I live in Toronto. Superstars usually was played on a Fox affiliate station, so around at 12 o'clock. So like at 12 o'clock, I would watch my cartoon. Actually, before 12 o'clock, I would watch my cartoons. 12 o'clock, the cartoon block would end on Fox. WWE Superstars will air at 12 o'clock. And then from 12 on, we had a multitude of stations such as CHCH and TSN, which will play WWE historical programming thereafter. So there will be programming after Superstars starting from 1 o'clock up until maybe 3 o'clock of matches from recordings of matches from Madison Square Garden, recordings of matches from Maple Leaf Gardens, and therefore. So superstar Billy Graham was, when you hear the term prototype, a lot of people, especially in this generation, would refer to that's the OVW name of John Cena. But this guy, Billy Graham, he was a true prototype. He influenced a lot of people. The look of Hulk Hogan, how Hulk Hogan worked, Hulk Hogan's charisma, it came from Billy Graham. Ric Flair used Billy Graham as influence. Jesse Ventura used Billy Graham as influence, and many other people used Billy Graham as an influence. But I would just like to point out those top stars such as Ric Flair, Jesse Ventura, and Hulk Hogan. Okay, so rest in peace, Billy Graham. Okay, so very quickly, I want to talk about AEW Collision because I don't have that much time left. I'm going overtime on my work break. I actually recorded a recording earlier, but it didn't turn out that good, so I'm going to try to bang out my thoughts quickly. So yesterday at the WBD Upfronts, AEW Collision was announced. It was said that A couple of AEW superstars who have been absent from TV will be headlining the show, such as Thunder Rosa, Miro, Andrade, and it'd also be the show would also feature the champions such as MJF, Orange Cassidy, who's the international champion, Hobbs, who has been booked terribly in my opinion. Listen to this show going forward so you can hear my opinion on my opinion on Hobbs creatively, and Samoa Joe, who is not even really an AEW talent. He's the Ring of Honor talent. He's the Ring of Honor television champion. So apparently, the one name that everybody was anticipating for the show was not announced, and that being CM Punk. And according to, there's been some outlets that have reached out to WB regarding CM Punk's involvement in the show, and apparently WB has responded back saying that CM Punk is not affiliated with this AEW television show. Now, will CM Punk be affiliated with any other AEW TV show? We don't know. Apparently, he still has an AEW contract. Apparently, he has recovered from his injury he sustained 8 months ago during AEW programming. Apparently, he's back in the gym working out. It's just a matter of when he will appear back on AEW programming. But I think it's past overdue. Regardless of him being injured all this time, Tony Khan has risked money. He's risked viewership. He's risked bringing more credible. He's risked bringing credibility to the AEW brand by not including CM Punk on this AEW programming for the past 9 months, whether in an injured state or uninjured state. We'll talk about that more in podcasts to come. So I got to finish this up quickly because I'm going over to on my work break. So, the big news coming from Dynamite yesterday is that Collision will be going on the road. And a lot of Saturday house show dates that AEW has placed on the calendar will become Collision dates. And a lot of house show dates during the week will be tapings for Collision. So it was announced that I believe it's the second episode of Collision will take place on a Saturday before Forbidden Door in the same arena as Forbidden Door here in Toronto at Scotiabank Arena. But as far as the debut episode of AEW Collision, pre-sale tickets go on this Friday for an unnamed location. Now, unnamed location, so you're thinking it would be Chicago. I would think it would be probably Chicago. If you had a gun to my head, where would it be? It would probably be in Chicago. But apparently, there's problems with between CM Punk and AEW on bringing him back to television. So I don't know. Tony Khan might have to pull an audible. We'll see if Tony Khan has 2 weeks to he has a week, because this thing on Dynamite, Tony Khan's thing on Dynamite, his whole thing is to come on Dynamite and make an announcement leading to an announcement leading to an announcement leading to an announcement. That's what's been going on for the past few weeks on Dynamite. And the announcement he made this week is that, hey, Collision tickets are on, pre-sale tickets are on this Friday and undisclosed location, and hey, just buy the tickets and we'll tell you the location next week. Not knowing that, everyone's thinking it's CM Punk, but who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? Where is it gonna be? But anyways, I gotta finish this podcast really quick. But I'll see you guys on a daily basis for more of my thoughts. But very quickly, Tony Khan has to produce with this Collision show. If he doesn't produce with this Collision show, it's gonna end up like Rampage. I really predict after probably the first 2 weeks of Rampage, after the first 2 weeks of live Collision, Collision will probably, I think Collision will be going into pre-tapes after the first 2 weeks. It'll be going to pre-tapes. I predict this show's going to drop off the cliff. It's going to be a Rampage like ratings, AEW Dynamite Saturday night ratings. It's going to be terrible, but this is the risk that you take, when you run a company and you can't keep shit in order. So anyways, I'm going to end this podcast now. Thank you for listening to the debut episode here on Round 1 on YouTube. I'll see you tomorrow.